Hi, my name is Sarah Anderson, and I am sharing this video to demonstrate to you how important communication is, specifically in the sport of water polo. I am a first-year student here at Penn State. Being a freshman, I made the decision to get involved in a club sport that I enjoy. Water polo has been part of my life for the past 5 years, so joining Penn State's women's water polo team was a no-brainer. Growing up a swimmer was fun, but it got old really fast, especially when high school rolled around. By freshman year, I was ready for something new, something that I could potentially be good at. I knew how to swim, but I was bored of it. Fortunately, it was natural for me to try water polo, and I wasn't alone. That's me, the 2012 version of me at least. A lot of my teammates in high school were in the same position as I. We all knew how to swim, but how do you play? What are the rules? How do I communicate with my teammates when I don't know what I'm talking about? These are all the questions I asked myself when I started, and let me tell you, the answers weren't there right away. This was my high school coach. We call her Mel. She taught me all the basics. However, my teammates were the people in the water with me explaining everything she said. When she used terms like wet pass or rear back or egg beater, I was 100% confused. Water polo was new to me, and with any sport, I had to learn the language in order to communicate. Not many people even know what water polo is. Do you? Did you know that you can't stand on the bottom of the pool, or that you can only use one hand when you touch the ball? Or that it is basically basketball except that it is played in a pool? I hope by the end of this video you have some idea of what it is. Learning the rules of water polo took me a good 3 years, and I mostly learned by getting sent to the corner. That's called a kick-out. 3 of those and you're out for the game. The terms were easier to catch on to because I was physically doing them all of the time. Here are some of them. Unlike competitively swimming, I had to learn to head-up swim. This included guarding the ball while keeping my elbows high. At the beginning of every game and every quarter, there are 4 7-minute quarters by the way, we do a swim-off. This is where players start on the wall and one player goes for the ball. A dry pass is a pass that does not hit the water. The defense shot blocks the most when they are man down. That means the offense has one extra player in the pool because a defensive player was kicked out. Egg beater is what our legs are doing to keep us above water. It is the most efficient way to tread without getting too tired. The ball is not allowed to go under the water. However, a defensive player can make it look like the offensive player gets a ball under in order to get a turnover. So far, you've probably noticed that water polo is an up-close and personal sport. It is. This is me drawing a foul. I am doing this to get a free pass. Lastly, a 5-meter is a penalty shot that is allowed when the defense illegally gets in the way of a likely goal. Like I said, the rules are complicated and I still don't even know all of them. All of these terms are used at practice and during games. It is important to know what they are and what they mean. Just like when learning any language, you first need to know the vocabulary and then the context it is used in. In order to speak the language and use it to communicate, you need to practice it. It took me 5 years of practicing this language to get to where I am today. I'm going to show you a video clip from our last PSU game. Listen to all of the communication that is happening in and out of the pool. Notice how it isn't silent. Listen for the girls saying up, up, as in move the ball up the pool, someone is open. Also, watch for the terminology I spoke of earlier. We may not be saying what is written, but we know how to play because of it. I decided to interview our captain to get a better understanding of how important communication is in and out of the pool while playing water polo. Hi, Michaela.
Hi.
In what ways do you as a water polo player communicate with your teammates and coaches?
I basically act as the liaison between our coach, the refs, and the team.
Is this communication important?
Yeah, I think so. I communicate by relaying the information from the refs to the team before every game, and I think this is really important because every ref is different.
What do you think water polo would be like without communication?
I think it would make the sport a lot more difficult to play because we are constantly yelling out plays to run during the game.
Awesome. And are there more ways to communicate other than speaking?
Yeah. The refs are flashing numbers without saying anything, and one thing the players do is tap the top of their head if they need a sub. And sometimes it isn't always easy to hear each other in the pool, so as we play as a team, we are able to catch on to each other's signals.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Just like Michaela mentioned, there are more ways to communicate than just speaking. Body language is a huge component of successful communication. While we play, we know how to communicate without speaking. A hole player is the player whose position is right in front of the goal. Typically, the goal is to give this player the ball so they can shoot and score. Claire is our primary hole player. Most of the time, she is working too hard to be able to speak. We know when she is ready for a wet pass if she gives us a little head nod or the look. Sometimes she will even tap the water in front of her, indicating that she is ready for the pass. If we were just to pass it to her without communicating first, the ball would get stolen. Learning any sport or language for the first time is difficult. It takes time to adapt to how things are done. However, once I was comfortable with my ability to communicate, I was able to get better and learn more. The learning never ends. This summer, I will be the Tallgrass Lightning head coach for 14 and under kids. My job will be to pass on the language of water polo to them. Because they are beginners, it will not be easy, just like it wasn't easy for me to learn when I was first learning how to play way back in 2012. My goal as their coach is to teach them this language so they will be able to communicate on their own. Communication is key to any successful water polo team.